Hi there. I am Yolanda with Harper Therapy, and I was just thinking recently about my high school days. Remember those days? And I remember specifically there being a person that I went to school with that I felt like we were very similar. And there might have even been a little competition there as far as who made the best grades, who was getting what scholarship, who was invited to what parties. We actually had sororities in my high school, so I had never heard of that before I started attending that high school. And so even situations like that. And it got me to thinking about how uncomfortable social situations can be for our teens, and especially for our teens who have an element of some anxiety as far as social situations, some social anxiety. So I wanted to hop on real quick today and just share some tips about how to help our teens through that social anxiety. So one, we are going to really be mindful about bullying. It's something that is really on the radar right now. If there is any bullying or if there has been any bullying for your child, address that because otherwise the social anxiety is just going to continue and continue and build and build. So after we've addressed that, after we have made sure that there's no bullying at play, we're going to recognize all of the things that we've talked about before as far as anxiety goes and use some of those tips. So we're going to move our bodies. Anxiety is energy, so we're going to get some exercise to release some of that energy. Eat well, stay hydrated, get good sleep. We are also going to recognize that a lot of people who have social anxiety tend to be more introverted personalities. I know that I am definitely an introvert. Any other introverts out there? Raise your hand. And so in a society that has a lot of focus on social and building social networks and being best friends with everyone, it takes a lot of guts to honor our introvertedness, right? So as an introvert, I don't want to be around a lot of people. I have a smaller set of friends that I'm more close with. I hate making small talk. I'm much more comfortable in the house in my PJs, right? So that's going to be my comfort zone. I'm going to recognize that's what I'm going to gravitate to. And also kind of in that space of let me find some social situations that I'm going to be a little bit more comfortable in. Going to a big, huge party is not going to be comfortable for me, but maybe meeting one-on-one or with my small group of close friends, maybe that's what the social interactions look like. So we have to recognize that with social anxiety, a lot of what is at play is like our social construct, right? In caveman days, life or death was, being chased by a dinosaur. And these days, the threats are not as much to our physical well-being as they are to our social status and our social construct. So we can recognize some of those stories that we tell ourselves about our social status. And I call that kind of playing the homeless under the bridge game. What really would need to happen for me to be homeless under a bridge? Is it really true that everybody hates me, right? Is it really true that no one wants to hang out with me, right? And so I think that a big part of this is also recognizing who our people are. Very realistically, in a world that has so much focus on the social aspects and on social media, there's kind of this thought that we're supposed to be best friends with everybody. And that's just not reality. So I like to kind of call this the marble jar friends. Who are those friends who have invested in your life? When my kids were in elementary school, their teacher would have a marble jar at the front of the classroom. When the kids in the class made good choices, the teacher would put marbles into the jar. When the kids in the class collectively made bad choices or had poor behavior, the teacher would take marbles out of the jar. that's a great metaphor for our relationships. What are the relationships who the people have invested in us and we've invested in them? These are the people who, know my dog's names. These are the people who ask me about, a recent conversation that I had that I was a little nervous about, right? These are the people who pick up the phone and call me on my birthday, right? Or who make plans to have dinner with me on my birthday. So it's getting clear as to like who are our real people, who's our tribe, and recognizing that we're not going to be best friends with the whole world. We're not supposed to be. So talking through that with our team too, to say, all right, who are the people that you really jive with? Who do you get along with, best with? Who do you have things in common with? Right? Who treats you with respect? Who holds your secrets? Who, is not running around telling things that you tell them in confidence, right? Those are the people that we're going to focus time and energy on spending, building relationship with, so that we can have those positive social interactions and we can build on those. Part of it too is stretching ourselves just outside of our comfort zone. Engaging in social interactions that are just slightly uncomfortable so that we can stretch and grow a little bit. And then finally, I want to just share something that I've had people in the past tell me in our time together in therapy has been one of the most powerful tools that we have used in their time in therapy. So take a Post-it note. This is just a 3x3 Post-it note. Draw a square in the middle of the Post-it note. Make it like 1 by 1 inch. Then make a list of the people in your life whose opinions of you matter. Because, there's a saying that comes to mind that might not be completely appropriate to say on Facebook, but everybody has an opinion. But not everybody gets to have an opinion about me and my life, right? So who are those people? And again, society kind of shows or dictates, wants to say that this should be a big number of people, right? Our tribe should be tens and hundreds and thousands, right? We're not talking about that big of a number of people. We're talking about 2, 3, maybe 4 that would fit into a 1 by 1 inch square. So having that clear list for your teen who might be having some social anxiety about really whose opinions of you matter the most. And let's spend time cultivating some of those relationships and having some social interaction with those people, because those are the people who matter to us in our lives. So just wanted to hop on really quick, share some thoughts about teens and social anxiety. We specialize here at Harper Therapy in helping your teen with their social anxiety. One of the things that is really helpful as far as anxiety goes, and then especially with social anxiety, is using accelerated resolution therapy. So in the world of therapy, there's all kinds of different therapies, cognitive behavioral therapy and exposure therapy. The nice thing about accelerated resolution therapy is that it kind of combines those therapies together so that we're able to do things like address negative thoughts, come up with more realistic positive thoughts, and even practicing ourselves engaging in behaviors that previously had been uncomfortable for us. So you can find out more about those services on our website, harpertherapy.com. If you have any other questions or concerns, drop them in the comments. Give us a call. We'd be happy to talk through what's happening for you guys, for you and your family. We are here to be a space to be your home for hope, growth, and healing for your teen through their social anxiety. So have a great day, and we look forward to connecting with you soon.